8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Welcome to the Play It By Ear podcast. The podcast where the topics may vary because, hey, we play it by ear. And now your hosts, Eric Fiskus, Brady Liming, and Todd Griffin.
We are here to bring you all kinds of double-tapered frivolity.
Straight liquid frivolity.
We reference a YouTube video in which George Brett is talking about a bout of...
intestinal distress.
Yes, indeed.
Speaking of the pine tar incident...
Nicely played.
Well done.
We didn't work that out before the show
No,
started.
that was totally played by ear right there.
Yes, it was.
All right. Welcome. Episode 74. Been a couple weeks. Ended up taking Fair Week off because I was gallivanting in Vegas, which is where George Brett had his intestinal distress. Maybe that's...
Viva Las Vegas.
Viva Las Vegas.
Do they have a spot like marked on the sidewalk like a Hollywood star, but it's like a...
Well, I didn't go into the Bellagio because that's where it happened. Maybe I should have explored in there. Maybe there was a commemorative monument or something.
Crab legs dumped here.
Yeah, y'all need to look that up. If
It is gold.
Instead of a star on the sidewalk, it's just a bunch of droplets down the sidewalk leading to the hotel.
Oh,
Like
my. Seriously, gentlemen, the first time I saw that video, my ribs hurt. I couldn't stop.
I guess I just wish I could be so conversational about my distress. Yeah, it's just conversational,
Yeah.
Embarrassing distress at that.
First thing you ask guys talking to you, how long's it been since you crapped yourself?
Yeah. Like it's just everyday talk.
I'm good for it once or twice a year.
Yeah.
That's a response that killed me.
Yeah. For those of you that have no idea what we're talking about, just Google
George
Brett
crab legs incident.
diarrhea.
Yeah, something.
George Brett diarrhea. That'll bring it up or whatever.
Mhm. Brady, did you get a haircut?
No, I didn't. I think I'm just usually, previously, when I get home from school, I walk the dog and play Frisbee, and but today I kind of like, it was a cooler day, and my coif stayed true.
Weren't those all Smothers Brothers yo-yo tricks? Walk the dog, throw the Frisbee.
Rock the cradle. Yeah. And plus I upgraded to a higher quality hair product, so it does better.
Wow.
You and your hair products.
Hey.
All right.
Looks good, though, Brady. It looks good. Bree's right. Yeah, Bree was right to notice something. It looks good.
Yes.
Thank you, Bree.
Indeed.
I'm the one that said it.
Fancy dancy. Episode 74 of the Play It By Ear podcast. Brady Liming and his coiffure is with us.
Oh.
And Todd Griffin and his Andy Dalton coiffure.
I haven't even combed my hair today.
Very conversational about your hair or doing habits there. Yeah. How long since you crapped yourself?
Well, I was doing my
let's
hair.
put it this way. Since I've combed my hair.
Yes, Todd knows all about hair products, Bree. That's a fact.
I do indeed. I'm all about the paste. I'm all about the hair paste.
A low shine
Sheen,
matte
yes.
paste. Yes.
A freshly shorned, low sheened coif.
Not too much light brightness. It's got to be a little bit of a matte finish.
Yeah.
Mate.
For mate.
Yeah, you can't say matte. I say mate.
Mate.
Like, nothing like L.A.
Lovey.
L.A. Looks never made any mate finish. It was always glossy and shiny.
By the gallon. Brought to you by the 68 Club.
Yes. Well, now we have 4 people in the room. Now we have 3. So
Oh, no.
you get to it. Check in the comments if you're in the room. We know Bree's here. Who else is here? While we do that, while we wait for other people to check in, once again, if you've never been here before, now it's going back up to 5. Now we're going the right direction. Once again, if you've never been here before, each of us bring a topic to the table. We discuss the topic 20-ish minutes. We have not previously discussed said topic, so we play it by ear. Does the wiener want to get involved in the show here?
Pardon me?
Todd has a wiener dog.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
That's what I meant. Come on, guys. We're playing Dirty Mind. Playing Dirty Minds later, not now.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. So we are in order on the screen for which we will give our topics. But first, Brady has pointed up, Todd, if you would also visit our website, www.playbyearpodcast.com. You can find out all about our show, and we will discuss different parts of our website as we go along this evening. And
is the cat asshole still on the website?
that
should be the thing. We just check that every episode first.
Cat asshole update. Yeah, we'll get to that in a moment. Before we get to Brady, our shirt of the evening harkens back to a famous moment in Cincinnati Reds history. I meant to look at the date. April 21st, 1990 is the date. Lou Pinella chucks first base into right field.
Nice.
Man, I was just about to turn 13.
He's only 13.
That was forever ago.
Yes.
13. 13. He was 13.
Of course, our beloved Reds would go on to win the World Series that year, and that's the last hint of total success we've seen out of that baseball club since then, 31 years after the fact. But again, I want to bring that up in Reds history and in honor of, once again, another lost baseball season. With that, Brady Liming, you're up.
Okay. It is time to talk dinner parties. Not that kind. We do not care what salad fork you use. We do not care what kind of dessert is coming, but what matters is the guests.
Well, wait. We do care what dessert is coming. So,
well, that's true. That is true.
There, but go ahead.
So, anyway, what our topic is going to be, what I'm leading off is gentlemen in our audience, you are to choose 4 TV characters from any era of TV, and you are throwing a dinner party, and you are choosing 4 characters to have dinner with you.
Okay, can I make a proposition here?
Absolutely.
Should we go one by one? Like you give your first character, Todd will give his first character, and I'll give mine. We'll just kind of go down the line as we discuss.
Yeah, that'll mix it
I
up.
like that style. Yeah, we've used that before. I like that.
Yeah.
And absolutely, Brie, key lime pie is the bomb.
Yes, Bree did say dessert matters, as is what I said. What? You all right there?
Sorry.
I don't even know what.
I don't know what sound just emanated from your gullet.
Key lime pie makes me vomit.
Oh, I thought
It's too
dude,
bitter.
you sold that. I thought something was wrong, and you were no
Sour.
selling it.
Thought I was going to dial 911.
No.
All right. So, are we ready, gentlemen?
Absolutely.
Okay, now and let me be clear. It's not categorized. It doesn't have to be funny, serious. It is who you wanted your dinner party to please you. You think it's interesting. You think it'd be fun, and everybody has their reasons. So, shall I lead off?
Sure.
Okay, my first in no particular order, but I would like Michael Weston from Burn Notice to be one of my dinner guests. His years as a spy and his infinite amount of stories and his MacGyver-like tendencies would make him an interesting dinner guest.
Okay, Brady, if you would. I never personally watched Burn Notice.
Oh,
So if you could give the concept of the show.
Okay,
Neither did I.
Oh my gosh, get on that, guys! I think it's available on all streaming networks. But basically, Michael Weston was a CIA. He was a deep spy, and he got his burn notice, meaning he was being cut loose without his cover.
All right.
So he finds himself back in his hometown of Miami with his possibly terrorist but now good girlfriend and a wide range of characters. Bruce Campbell, just a tremendous cast. And it was serious, Eric, especially it'll appeal to your A-team likeness where there's lots of explosions and things, but nobody really ever, it's very lighthearted with some serious, intense turns. So yeah, Michael Weston from Burn Notice, absolutely. He's my lead off.
Okay.
Now, we're playing it by ear, right?
Sure. That's what we do.
I am not going to have near as much to say about the people that pop into my head as Brady just had about that guy. So just be prepared. That sounded well rehearsed.
Well, but it is his topic. I mean, he's actually.
Oh, I know. No, I'm not. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, but I'm saying I'm coming up with characters, but I can't talk that much about them. So mine's going to be short and sweet. For once. Am I lagging? Because I stopped talking and it takes you guys several seconds to seem to hear me, like when I did my cough thing. So if I'm lagging, I wonder if I need to restart this.
Well,
Reboot it.
It doesn't seem like you're lagging to me.
Doesn't seem like you're lagging anymore.
Okay.
You're scratching your eye.
Good deal.
All right, go ahead.
You going second or am I going second?
You're going second.
I'm going second. Okay.
Order the
Probably
screen,
to no one's surprise. I picked Kevin James, King of Queens, Doug Heffernan from King of Queens. Again, all I can say is I always kind of approach these type of topics when we have them as who I would kind of like to sit down and have a beer with.
Yeah.
And so I always just picture Kevin James as just a good, genuine, funny guy. Although he did usher in the buffoon husband.
Dad.
We talked about that before, Eric. Yeah, well, he wasn't a dad, but the buffoon husband that was on TV for many years that I definitely am not always okay with. But either way, I'm going Kevin James with my first pick.
Very good. All right, so Brady gave a little preview of my first pick in mentioning the A-Team, and I think I probably made it somewhat clear on this show my love for the A-Team and how the cinematic garbage that was the A-Team movie was sacrilege. And I will only say, and I kind of am getting off on a tangent here, but not once, I don't want to say not once, maybe once, in the pilot episode of the A-Team TV show was BA ever called Bosco. He was called Bosco throughout the entire movie, which was the first piece of garbage that emanated from that cinematic flop. But I digress. So with that being said, my first guest at my TV character dinner party would be none other than Hannibal Smith of the A-Team. And I can give a little more description of why that would be. First of all, I'm certain the man has some entertaining war stories. You know,
True.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, the whole idea of where the A-Team got to be on the run in the first place, it's fairly entertaining, but I'm sure there are other things as well. Also, Hannibal Smith is the consummate smart aleck, which I very much appreciate his ability to crack a joke in the and I think maybe Hannibal Smith was the originator of that little thing, and then you saw it later in movies like Die Hard because Bruce Willis's character John McClane was always cracking jokes when he had a gun in his face or whatever. So I think Hannibal Smith was the originator of that whole "I'm a smart aleck" thing, and I'm gonna basically thumb my nose in your face while you have a gun to my head sort of thing. So there's that, and I think he would interact very well with other guests. So not only he himself is very interesting, but I think he also would add to the ambiance of my dinner party.
Of your dinner party. Very
Yes.
good. Very good. Ready for round 2?
Yep.
Round 2.
Okay. My round 2 doesn't need a lot of explanation. Larry from Three's Company.
So would your dinner party be at the Regal Beagle?
Yeah. Oh man.
Have you ever seen those T-shirts?
I have about bought one. I have about bought one.
Seeing a beagle with a crown, it's just priceless.
Oh man. So yeah, I just think he would be entertaining. There would be a lot of good stories, and I don't know. I just think he would lighten things up.
Now you would, when you see
I
him
agree.
smarmily hitting on women at your dinner party.
Absolutely. The waitresses would be very uncomfortable. And but I just I think the what do you call it? He would be the wild card of the dinner party.
Understood.
And he would probably still be rocking a awesome hair helmet.
Probably so. Todd, before you go, I'm going to put Bree put some of her choices up here. Chuck Norris. So now, Bree, would there be any particular Chuck Norris character? I mean, are we talking like Walker, Texas Ranger? Or,
Is there any other?
Well, I don't know. I'd be Chuck
Wasn't that his
Norris.
only? I think that might. I think
his
that might have been his
only
only
show?
TV show.
Was he was in movies though, right?
Movies, definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's just Chuck Norris, so I mean, doesn't even need to be a character, just Chuck Norris.
MacGyver. Now, would that be the new MacGyver or the
Oh.
old Richard Dean Anderson MacGyver? Because my wife is in love with Richard Dean Anderson. That's one of her future
So-
past husbands. But Bart Simpson, the animated guest
Bart Simpson.
of the dinner party. Can we go into animation? I mean, is that a
I have.
That certainly does open up a different portal that my mind had not.
Yes, it does. Indeed. And Bree says yes, old, with 3 exclamation points. MacGyver.
Mm,
Okay,
I,
so it's
I have
4. Bree.
never-
You only gave us 3.
I have a confession.
yes.
I've never watched a full episode of The Simpsons.
Really?
Really?
Never. Yeah.
I've watched very few. I don't.
I was
generally-
much more well versed in the earlier seasons, but no problem. I
It's-
just kind of like
No, that's the way with me. I think it's brilliant. I think it's amazing that's still on. But back then, it seemed like people either went Simpsons or Ren and Stimpy, and then in the South Park, and that was my direction.
Right.
yeah.
I didn't go towards the Simpsons.
I think Bree's throwing down the gauntlet there, Brady.
She is.
The rules were not laid out well. She did not know to give 4 dinner theater guests fired. Are we
Fired.
firing Brady? Bree, and
You're
taking his
fired.
place? You're fucking fired. I said blanking. Blanket fired.
Maybe we should do this with 5 dinner guests.
Step
Never heard of 5 guests. Oh,
Go ahead.
so
Am I up?
I think you're up.
Okay, I think I'm going to go with one that I almost bet would be at Eric's dinner party as well, and that is Dr. House. Going
Oh,
Dr.
yeah.
House.
You did take one of my guesses. Now I have to come up with another one.
Well, no, you don't. You can probably just have more to say about him. I'm just going to say, Eric, we've talked to this before. I mean, to be so good and valuable at your job that you pretty much can be Dr. House and be the asshole that he is.
And no
it's
one
pretty
can get
remarkable.
rid of you.
And no one can get rid of you. Yes. And plus, I mean, he's brilliant, so I think you would like him there in case there were any illnesses or chokings or food allergies or anything like that,
Or lupus.
or lupus.
No, it's always sarcoidosis. That's what it always is.
It's not on his watch. That's the thing. He would.
You beat me to it.
Although he never said that. That's a friend of ours. His knock on the show always the.
Not on my watch.
Not on my watch.
All right, so I will expound upon what Todd said, even though I will not claim Dr. House as a dinner guest since he already did. House not only on the diagnostic medical side, but on the psychology side. I mean, he would be interesting because he would be psychoanalyzing everybody at the party and giving his 2 cents about what they're thinking, what they're doing, why they're doing what they're doing. I mean, that would be fairly interesting to see Dr. House psychoanalyze Hannibal Smith. That would be worth the price of a very high quality dinner right there.
It would. Certainly.
That would be definitely a battle of stubbornness.
Indeed.
And rapier wit.
Indeed. All right, so I'm to my second dinner guest, and again, along that same line, I would say Hawkeye Pierce from MASH would be my second dinner guest.
I think Todd just clicked off.
He did.
MASH. Marsh.
Marsh.
Gosh. I can only, that's the only show that I can ever remember in my life where the theme song alone just literally made me ill, made me sick to my stomach.
Okay, now, honestly, how long has it been since you watched an episode of MASH, or have you ever?
No, I've said before, I think I've said on this podcast that I would probably like it now. I will fully admit that. But back then,
I think
there was no worse. There was no worse feeling than being like, I had a TV in my bedroom at whatever age that, and there was no remote. I remember, like, you're laying in bed and you're watching TV, and the next thing that damn show comes on, and you're like, you either got to get up and turn the channel,
or watch the Moody Blues,
or watch the Moody Blues on channel 64.
Now you want to get started on bashing MASH, and you're the one who
bashing MASH.
Bashing MASH. You're
Not
the
necessarily
one who
bashing the show, the music. It was the theme song. I never got past the theme song to watch the show.
Did it just make you anxious?
No. It just was so drab and blah. Exactly. It literally says "wah" in it.
Wait a minute, I forgot the helicopter.
Chopper. Yeah.
Okay, Les Nessman.
Got to get the boob chopper in there.
No, I mean you're going to bash MASH here, and you were going on and on about your fandom of Little House on the Prairie the other day. So
that was a good show. That was a good show.
Yeah, it was a wholesome show.
That's right. You felt good watching that. Did you feel good watching MASH?
Hey, I'm about ready to break into a.
Speaking of wholesome shows,
what was that?
Oh,
Wasn't you turned into the Put Me In coach who sings that?
John Fogerty.
John Fogerty. Speaking of wholesome shows,
the old man down the road.
he puts way more syllables in the word shoes than they're actually in there. Shoes.
Oh man.
Good night, Brady G.
All right, here we go. I'm taking a totally different.
Hang on,
different.
Eric
Yeah,
picked...
I never said why I picked Hawkeye. Brady.
Oh, that's right.
You're jumping the gun here. Hawkeye, along the same lines as what Todd said about Dr. House. Again, someone who's so good at their job that they could just go straight to a general and basically tell the general off and not end up in a court martial. They're just amazing.
Yeah.
Probably a little unrealistic, but
Yeah.
always had a wisecrack, and those wisecracks that you didn't really see coming. It was like
Wisecracks, wisecracks.
No, not wise.
Wisecracks.
Yeah. So yes, Hawkeye Pierce would be a dinner guest of mine.
Good choice. Good choice. He better be wearing a Hawaiian shirt.
Indeed.
Can I explain? I got to explain real quick the wisecrack versus wives crack. I think I've told this story before. It was, I was in high school, and there was a young lady in our class who was saying something to the class, and she said, "I think it was an old wives crack," and I couldn't pass up the opportunity to make fun of her. And the next thing I know, she threw a book across the room and hit me in the forehead with it. So she definitely won that little back and forth, but. At least I knew the difference between a wives crack and a wise crack, even in high school.
Well,
sounds like a classmate of ours, although it wasn't in class, talking about this TV show. You know that TV show, Groin Pains? Okay. Groin
What?
Pains.
she thought it was groin pains instead of growing pains. So
That's literally what they thought, or did they just say the word?
no,
Oh,
Growing
she legitimately
odd.
thought it was groin pains.
she thought it was groin.
Groin pains. Wow. That would be a whole different show.
Yeah.
I think.
It would.
Although Richard Stabone would probably have still had a good part in that show.
Probably so.
Oh.
A different part.
Yes.
A different part, yeah.
All right. My guess number 3. So we've gone spy, we've gone local watering holetch, and now we are going to go somebody with a little bit more grit and texture. TJ from Criminal Minds.
Which one is he?
She
Oh, she. Sorry.
She
Never watched
is
that show
the
either.
lovely flaxen-haired, kick butt beauty that I might be choosing as a dinner guest for multiple reasons. But celebrity crush. But anyway, she just the things that she's seen. We have a spy and escape stories. We have the funny guy, and then it's going to get dark in here when she tells you about the horrible things that she may have witnessed and what kind of cases that she was privy to. So there's that.
Very good.
Makes sense.
Yep.
I've never watched that either.
Really? Now you talk about dark.
Well,
not to get on. It
You
got scary.
Criminal Minds, right?
Yeah.
I have started that. Is that the one where they fly the special group
Yep. That's them.
all over
Yeah.
the place? And it's got the I can't think of the lead guy, the head honcho guy.
Mandy Patinkin in the first couple
Mandy,
seasons,
yeah.
and then
I haven't gotten any farther than that. I
Yeah.
like him a lot. All right, my third, Alf. Alf.
I said TJ. It was AJ. Sorry. Go Todd.
That's all right. I kept thinking T.J. Hooker though when you said
Yeah,
T.J.
Yeah.
That's where my mind went.
I'm going Alf. First off, I think it would be interesting. I mean, think about it. You're having dinner with an alien.
Right.
He wouldn't eat much unless you were serving fresh cat. I wouldn't be the shortest guest there because I think Alf was short,
yeah.
and I think that's all I got. I've always liked Alf.
Just always wanted to meet Alf.
I always wanted to meet Alf.
Do I get to say one of the best Toddisms? If he brought relatives, would there be elves?
How else would you say the plural of Alf?
No, I agree with you. It was a classic moment.
All right. So my third dinner guest comes from the show The Shield,
Ooh.
Vic Mackey. Vic Mackey.
Wow.
I have a generalized TV character, and we talked about House, and we've talked about
Hawkeye.
Hannibal Smith to an extent. Not Hawkeye so much. I'm talking about the TV character that does bad things for good reasons, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Now, if you've never watched The Shield, I'll give you a synopsis of Vic Mackey and his group called the Strike Team are what would be termed as dirty cops. However, an example, in their mind, they do good things, quote unquote, because they allow one drug dealer to do business, but keep the other drug dealers in the neighborhood from doing business because that alleviates the drug wars and people getting shot. So that's the line of thinking you're talking about here. And I guess it all goes back to tying into trying to get in the mind of someone like that. You know, just having a conversation of, so why did you do that? Why did you think that was a good thing to do? And being able to ask, now there's stipulations here, because you got to be able to ask these people anything you want to ask them without fear of retribution or, you know, Vic pulling a Glock on
out.
you. Yeah, right. So, you know, it's got to be open conversation here at my dinner party. We're going to check the weapons at the door. We're going to sit like
civilized human beings.
Exactly. And we're going to talk about what we talk about. But Vic Mackey, again, at my party, a little bit of a wild card there. And I think he would, again, add to the ambiance.
I've started the Shield a couple of times, but I need to stick with it.
Yes, you do.
Just take a summer and stick with it. I mean, obviously, I'm a huge Sons of Anarchy fan, who I know there's some
right.
Cross-pollination
there.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. You ready for my number 4?
Yep.
Speaking of Sons of Anarchy, Gemma Teller.
Gemma.
The stories, the questions, the perspective of her mindset.
Yeah.
That you talk about, that would just be like opening a Pandora's box.
She had a nice voice, so she could sing. She could sing. She could entertain at the dinner party. That is an interesting choice from that show, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there's. Like I said, it's kind of the. I mean, there were so many compelling characters, and she was really flippin' complicated. You know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I would have gone. He's not on my list. I don't think I would have gone Opie. Probably from Sons of Anarchy.
Very conflicted.
Yeah. Maybe Jax.
Tig.
Tig was... you would not have gotten Tig to check his weapons at the door. I mean, Tig was a loose...
That's true.
Tig was one of those characters that you literally felt greasy and dirty for even ever liking and rooting for.
Yeah.
Jax became that way too, without giving too much away, but I mean...
Yeah.
Right.
Interesting choice, though. I'm glad somebody picked a Sons of Anarchy character. My last character, Bruce Banner.
Oh.
Bill Bigsby.
Well, no, he did. David Banner.
David Banner.
It is Bruce Banner. But...
It's Bruce Banner, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, in the comic book.
In the comic book, yeah. I'm talking the show. I'm talking the show when I was a youth. For a couple of reasons. Number one is I always thought he looked like my dad, and so I think that would be cool. They had the same hairdo, and it would be interesting also to see. It would be funny to see with Dr. House there and Alf how pissed off they could get him and see it. Before he turned green.
So it wouldn't
take long.
Carnage. You're going to have carnage at your dinner party.
I am going to have carnage. Yes.
Hulk smash.
I'll wait till you pick your fourth, and Eric, and I'll tell you. My last one was a tie between what I chose and another guy. I want to see if you picked him before I chime in, though. So, what's your fourth, Eric?
So what tilted the scales here with your choice?
I think it was nostalgia. It was just my childhood. The Incredible Hulk was a big part of my childhood. I mean, I every once in a while, looking through shoe boxes of pictures, I still find my underoos, my Incredible Hulk underoos and T-shirt picture of me, posing, weighing 27 pounds and thinking I was the Incredible Hulk. So, like, I don't know. It was a, superheroes weren't obviously as big. Well, I don't want to say they weren't as big to us when we were younger. I mean, probably not as big as what they've gotten in the last decade or 15 years here recently. But that was the one that I always. I mean, it was always the Incredible Hulk for me. I was never Superman, Spider-Man. I was always Incredible Hulk.
Right.
And Todd, I want to throw this in there because I am a comic book guy, but you don't know the joy. Like, I had to suffer through superhero shows like Spider-Man and Hulk and Captain America. They were just 70s that the special effects weren't so special. And I keep on thinking, like, with the comic book movies today, man, 5-year-old me would have been out of my mind, Yeah. So.
Well, but it seems like the movies now are more like people going back to vinyl records. There comes a point where things are too good, too realistic, too whatever. I mean, at some level, people like that campy schlock.
Oh yeah.
And I worry about things that I look at and could actually happen.
Oh yeah.
So do you think that? So then, do you think that the again the last decade, the Marvel uprising, do you think that they've shined everything up too pristine, too perfectly? I mean, do you think it needs some of that cheese, that Swamp Thing, hokey goodness?
Oh, I think so. I think so. All right, so to my number 4, I guess I go to how this person would, again, fit into the dynamic. Mm-hmm. And it goes back to the preachy overacting, and I assume that this character just is like that. So they, again, fitting into the whole dynamic of the dinner party. The original question here, by the way, we kind of kicked this around a little bit because that's kind of what we do. Whenever you see something, it may be a topic, you text the other two and you say topic ? And this all started with name 4 70s TV characters that you would invite to a dinner party. Well, Todd was born when you were born, 1977, right?
77, yeah.
Yeah. So he wasn't alive much in the 70s, so he didn't feel he could give much input on 70s TV characters. So we kind of expanded it. So that's why we're talking about other things. But mine is a 70s TV character. And that TV character is Dr. R. Quincy, MD.
Quinky
D.
Quinky.
Again, I go back to the preachiness, I'm making a point and I'm pursing my fingers and shaking my hand at you. How he would fit into the I could just imagine the first time he did the little preachy thing and shook his hand at Hannibal Smith and see what would happen there.
He'd get a cigar put out right on his knuckles.
He would indeed.
Well, can you imagine the difference between the unorthodox House and preachy Quinky going at it?
How come it's Quinky and not Quincy?
I don't know.
Quincy. You got to breathe into Quincy.
Quincy.
I mean, that carried on. There used to be a chain of it was kind of like a Ponderosa, but it was down south and it was Quincy's. And Doug and my friend Doug, we always called it Quinkies.
Or the Quink.
The Quink.
Can't find that show anywhere. Streams nowhere.
Really? Not even on Pluto?
No.
I have a category that I put that show in to me, or for me. And it goes into the Matlock Murder, She Wrote. Going to your great grandmas and eating like a bread sandwich.
Dr. Quinn Medicine Wombat. Oh,
You get me with the wombat over and over again. I don't know why.
oh man.
Oh goodness,
He's weeping.
I'm weeping. But you know what I mean? I always put them in the, like, those shows could have easily been in black and white on my TV for all I care. Like, they just seemed so, and I'm sure they were great shows, but to me, I think it was my age, they just seemed.
They had an old soul to them.
Exactly. It was like, what are you going to do on a rainy-ass day? You're going to watch Murder, She Wrote, and you're going to watch your grandma knit. Yeah.
You know, never mind what that town in Maine have, like, is
Cabot's
the size
Corner or Cabot's
size
Cove.
It's like the size of Sardinia, wasn't it? It had a murder every week. Like, what's going on there?
I'm gonna tell you what I would have rather done when I was a kid, and I did many times, than watch Murder, She Wrote or Matlock or Wincy. And that is sit on my damn picnic table. Sit on my picnic table pretending it's a boat and casting a fishing pole out and pretending I was fishing. And when it got hooked on a good old piece of snodgrass, I caught me a lugger.
Oh gosh.
So you had a tie for your fourth place, Todd.
Lunker, by the way. That was a terrible. I meant lunker, not lugger. Lunker.
Lunker.
I got lunker and lugger mixed up because I was thinking in my head where on Tombstone where they call Doc Holliday. I think they call him Lunger.
Lunger.
I think
tuberculosis.
Because it's tuberculosis. Yeah, and I got the two words mixed up, Lunger and Lunker. So that's how I got lugger. So the character that I said that I was afraid you would pick, Eric, I picked House, and I was pretty confident you would pick him, but I was going to pick Dexter.
That's a solid choice.
And I don't even know why, other than just fascinating. Nothing to fear. There's no reason to be afraid of Dexter.
Right.
I don't want to give too much away in case anyone has not seen Dexter. You definitely should. One of my top 3 favorite shows of all time. But it's coming back, by the way. There is a short, I don't know what you call it, a short miniseries coming back, I believe, in November.
That's what I was going to say. They're bringing that back. Has every single one of those people that was in Dexter been typecast? Because I don't think any of them have been in anything ever since.
Well,
I heard he was difficult to work with, possibly.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a reputation or something.
A lot of actors are difficult to work with, I think.
Yeah.
Is our friend Carrie on tonight? If is Carrie on tonight? I don't know if she's watching, but our friend Carrie, she actually has a Dexter story. I can't think of the actor's name.
Michael.
It's 3 names, right? Michael
Yeah.
Ian Thomas or something like that.
Yeah.
Or Michael Anthony Thomas. No, that's Michael Anthony's the bass player for Van Halen.
And
Anthony Michael Thomas. That was the guy from
Anthony Michael Hall.
Anthony Michael Hall. I think it was Michael Ian Thomas.
C. Thomas Hall.
I think it is C. Thomas Hall, isn't it? Or
Hold
Thomas
on.
C. Hall.
Hold on.
It's Thomas C. Hall.
Tom T. Hall.
Tom T.
Tom T. Collins.
I'm looking on the Internet Movie Database.
Brady was right. It's Thomas C. Hall.
Michael C. Hall.
There you go. Michael was his name. He changed. Right.
Yeah.
I have no idea. But either way, Carrie has a story about him. I think she met him.
Yeah.
Really?
I think before Dexter. I think this was what was the show he was in before Dexter that he got some critical acclaim for?
Don't remember.
I can't think. I think he played. I think
6
he
Feet
played
Under.
someone who
6 feet.
6
Under.
feet
6 feet
under.
under?
That was it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but anyway, she has an interesting story. She met him, so we should have her sometime join the show and talk about that. I believe she also had a run-in with Pink one time, so she could tell that story as well.
Wow.
The singer Pink. Yeah.
Yeah.
As opposed to what?
Well,
Anyway, I'm going to tell you what. Wait till I was going to choose maybe Dudley from Different Strokes.
Why not Gordon Jump?
I really wasn't going to do that. I was just waiting for one of you guys to take a drink and see if I could.
I find that Brady is the only one that chose a female.
That's true.
2 females.
I was going to go with Punky Brewster.
Punky Brewster as a 10-year-old?
Now, wait a minute.
Well, when because we were about the same age, so if my dinner party was happening when I was 10 years old, then it would have been. But Celine Moon Fry, I believe, is her real name, right? Soleil or Celine or
Soleil.
Something. Soleil.
French for sun, so her name is Sun Moon Fry.
Sun Moon Fry. Does
Sounds
she have
like
a
a
famous brother that
dermatological
acts?
condition.
Did she have a famous brother?
Is she the one who's isn't she like related to a Zappa or something?
I don't know.
I've never heard that.
And then I was going to pick Kelly Kapowski, Tiffany Amber Thiessen.
So as Kelly Kapowski or as whatever she was on 90210?
Well, I didn't like her so much on 90210, but I will say this: I follow her Instagram, and she is a fantastic chef. Like she actually has a show where I think she still has it, but anyway, where her and her husband invite other people over, like other celebrities over, and they have and she makes the meal and stuff. So she would be a good one to have at the dinner party because she's a she's a very good food maker. So plus I would have all kinds of Screech and Lisa Turtle questions to ask her, and Zach Morris questions.
Sean Fry is her half brother. Is that who you're referring to?
Who's Sean Fry?
Yeah.
I don't mean that, but I didn't know if I was.
Is he related to Fish?
He was in E.T. He was
as
Steve.
What?
Steve in E.T.
Oh.
He was in Real
As what?
Genius. He was in Real Genius. He was the boy at the science fair in Real Genius.
Well, her half brother is Mino Palouse. Mino Palouse. That's not who I was thinking of either. He's a child actor.
Hello, Rhonda, Hall of Famer.
Hey, Rhonda?
C. Thomas Howe. Yes, we kind of went all the way around that Michael C. Hall thing. C. Thomas Howe, Tom T. Hall. Yeah.
Let's talk about C. Thomas Howe a minute, though. Because C. Thomas Howe had as much going for him as any of that group of young actors at the time, Brat Packers. But he never went anywhere. He didn't go near as far as what most of them did. Why is that?
I don't know.
Why was he typecast, but the other ones?
Well, honestly, I don't mean to get. I think he took a lot of heat for taking the role in Soul Man, which did not age particularly well.
Gotcha.
And I think that might have there might have been a little bit backlash. But
he was one of my favorites in Red Dawn, and obviously Outsiders. I mean, he was main character. So it just seemed weird that he didn't go very far, but the rest of them did. I can't think of any other Brat Packer that didn't have a more successful career.
Ali Sheedy.
Oh, talk about stories, Carrie. Welcome.
There you go, Carrie. See, I knew it. Her nose must have tickled because I was talking about it.
Holy cow, Carrie! I didn't know you hung out inside the Viper Room. That's like where who was it died at the Viper Room?
River Phoenix.
Yes,
River Phoenix.
Right. Boy, I didn't know this about
you,
Carrie.
So, Carrie, while you're with us, by the way, thank you for joining us, Carrie. There's our friend Carrie, everyone. Yes. Tell us the Pink story.
Yes. We will.
And don't worry, we have so much money coming in, we can fight Pink if she decides to sue us, Carrie. Don't worry about that at all.
I'll tell you what, we'll let Carrie type that up, and I will talk about our website.
The cat's asshole.
Indeed. Please, once again, visit our website, playitbyearpodcast.com. And I got nothing. I'm stuck.
You're stuck in?
There it is. There it is. All right. Go to our membership support page, And I just mentioned Rhonda Reeser, one of our Hall of Famers. If you go to this page on our website, you can become a member of our podcast, along with the names listed here. Savannah Brown, Allison Chavis, Chuck Griffin, Jessica Longacre, Rhonda Reeser, Christy Rocky, and Joe Rocky. And you can do that by clicking on this link, Buy Me a Coffee, or you can click on the little red coffee cup over here, either one. And that will take you to our crowdsourcing platform, buymeacoffee.com. And you can go through the steps to become a member of the podcast. So you can find all that on the website. So Carrie has not put her comment on yet, but Carrie, please let us know what the story there is with Pink.
You're running with Pink.
Running with Pink. Yes. Hey.
Hey, Rhonda.
Rhonda.
All right. Look, moving on to topic number 2, and I'll put Carrie's comment up there when she puts that up. Oh, how about that? Same night at the Viper Room. You never know who you're going to see at the Viper Room.
And see, I was thinking that's why those two stories connected for me. So, see, Carrie, I remember. I listen.
See, I've been to LA a couple different times, but I never really had the I don't want to say guts, but I just
the cojones,
the conyas,
the sack,
sack to go to a place like the Viper Room.
The satchel?
Silk purse.
Yeah. All right. Todd.
Okay, so
topic 2.
Here a while back, somehow we ended up in our private messages. We ended up. I was at the grocery store, and we ended up. I was in awe of some of the new cereal out there. Some of the things they're turning into cereals, and I'm not a big cereal eater anymore. And so I thought I'm going to do a cereal topic tonight. So I started out looking at lists and trying to find worst to best list and things like that. And I do have a couple of those that I'm going to run through very quickly. But I have a bracket, if you will, top 32 cereals going head to head. And I know this is going to be an interesting, I guess, dynamic here because Brady and I both, I think Brady still eats cereal, like the man-child he is. And Eric, I don't believe has ever eaten cereal.
Not with milk.
Not with milk. So his experience is, yeah, his experience is always going to be these cereals in their arid form. Their non-milk soaked form. So he's going to have a different take than the rest of us. And also, I know Eric, being the TV expert, and I know he remembers a lot of the commercials and advertisements and things like that for these cereals. So we kind of thought we would maybe pick our winners of each game, of each head-to-head match between the two cereals, and then also take some votes from our wonderful audience. So without further ado, I think I'll do the bracket first, and if that's all I get through, that's fine.
Well,
so
can I cut you off a little? Because
you sure can.
Carrie's put the story up.
Okay, let's hear Carrie's story.
All right, so basically, Pink and I, which is Carrie, were at the Viper Room at the same time, but she was being bossy, and I got served first. She was pissed. So later in the bathroom, I ran into her with her and her posse.
Posse.
This was 2003, so she had a mohawk and a studded belt. She saw me, pushed me, and called me a
Meosh.
A witch with a B, as my
right.
mom would say.
I was so excited, all I could do was run back to Michael C. Hall and tell him that Pink hates me. That is an outstanding story. I have no story in my whole life that measures up to that one. Right?
I mean, I've shaken Larry Bird's hand, but whatever. I mean, it's... But seriously, she told me that story, and I thought it was really cool. And I think, Carrie, I don't know if you answered this earlier, but I think this was before he was on Dexter. So he had not... That's probably how he was able to just be hanging out there and with our good friend Carrie from Brown County. Not that there's anything wrong with hanging out with Carrie from Brown County, but I would say the Dexter or the Michael, what was his name? Michael C.
C.
Hall.
Hall.
After Dexter, probably would have been not one to hang out that you could have hung out with in just in a bar. But anyway, that's a really cool story. Thanks for sharing, Carrie.
But I would venture to say, and she says at the time he wasn't 6 feet under, so
Yeah.
he was somewhat known.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
How many Brown Countyans do you think have been to the Viper Room?
6.
I'm saying, it's got to be under 10. Got
Yeah.
to be under 10. And I'm saying in the Viper Room, like when the bar is open, not going there to see, hey, this is where River Phoenix died.
Yeah.
Going in there and drinking shots in the Viper Room. I'm saying, like I said, less than 10.
Well, I think also where when we're talking about how cool it would be to see where George Brett shit himself. I mean, you can see how we maybe aren't cool enough to be hanging out at the Viper Room.
No, we're not. We're not.
So, if any of our listeners has ever been to the Viper Room, let us know. Chime in.
So, well, we know Carrie has been, but other than Carrie,
exactly.
have you been to the Viper Room? Have you had shots at the Viper Room? Let us know. Not just to see where River Phoenix died. Have you been in during bar hours?
Carrie, I think you should try reaching out to Pink and explain to her that that night that you and her about got into a fight, and that she's lucky you didn't kick her hind end. And, give her the whole what for and see if she remembers it.
And she
tell her she needs to come on our podcast and apologize.
She's going to apologize to you, yes.
She owes you some remuneration of some sort.
There we go.
All right, Todd, sorry to cut you off there. Go ahead.
Oh, no, you're fine. No, that was well worth it. That was a pretty cool story. So, the 1 seed, and this isn't broken down. Eric actually is the bracket master, the braster, if you will. And he would be able to break this down better than me, but I just have it's a bracket, Eric. So I don't know what to call the different sections. So like, for instance, the regions. Yeah, there you go. So one region we have our 1 seed versus the 8 seed. We have Fruit Loops taking on. This is such a lopsided contest. It's not even. I mean, it's funny. Fruit Loops versus Grappe Nuits. Fruit Loops versus Grappe Nuits.
Now,
what says you guys?
Well, when you said lopsided, I thought you were going to say malto meal or something like that.
I was going to go with Mucilix.
No. So for those of you that don't speak my ignorant language, Fruit Loops versus Grape Nuts. Is there even? I mean, unless you're 176 years old.
But as the old joke goes, but I'll opine quickly. Fruit Loops are pretty darn solid, and the new ones with marshmallows are even better.
Well, they're the number 1 seed, but see, now I disagree with the marshmallows. It didn't need marshmallows. They're turning it into something else. It's called Fruit Loops, not Fruit Loops and Mellows. Or Fruit Loops and marshmallows. It's Fruit Loops. All you need is a loop of fruit. But either way,
Lupo fruit.
Lupo fruit. Either way, Grape Nuts is not even in the same. I mean,
Grape Nuts is what happens to aquarium gravel when it gets processed for eating.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Grape Nuts is aquarium gravel.
Here's all you have to think about. There has never been a human soul eat a bowl of Grape Nuts and smile.
They can't. It's physically impossible.
There is not a sadder cereal on the planet.
I think they smile when the grape nuts leave their bodies.
Well, no, they don't smile because it's already broken all their teeth out.
Yeah, like a cat shitting peach seeds.
You can smile without teeth.
Grape Nuts always reminded me of how when you go to to the zoo or you go to somewhere at the King's Island and they have a little you put a quarter in, you get a fistful of food nuggets to feed the carp. That's what Grape Nuts looks like. It's carp hand food. It's hand carp food.
Carp food.
Carpe diem.
All right, I'm putting Fruit Loops in there, Eric. I mean, you can vote, Eric, but I would.
He'll be shouted down.
Even though I'm not a cereal connoisseur, I know what the winner of that game is.
Yeah, exactly.
Fruit Loops for the win.
All right, the 4 versus 5 seeds. We have shredded wheat versus Wheaties. Shredded wheat versus Wheaties.
Is this shredded wheat? Does it have any frosting on it? Or is it...
Not this one. Not
Dude, it's just
not
the
the
bale?
4-seed. It's just the bale. It's just the bale sans twine.
Oh,
My question is, how does shredded wheat get to be a 5 seed without sugar?
I have no idea. It's the 4-seed actually.
Oh, get out of here! It's
it probably
ahead of
won the
Wheaties.
Ohio Valley tournament, so therefore it got in.
I'll be honest though, Wheaties isn't very good either. I mean, it's good for
No.
catching carp. There's a carp tie in about every one of these cereals.
Yeah.
Some Wheatie ball and some pantyhose.
So make some good dough balls.
Yeah.
Some Cairo corn syrup.
I was gonna say, I bet your dad made up some Wheatie ball in the day, didn't he,
yeah.
Eric?
Oh yeah.
Like Amarillo, man.
Good thing you didn't eat. It's a good thing you didn't eat cereal. He'd have like my dad. He would have taken the last bowl from underneath your chin when you were biting into it to make some Wheatie bowl or Wheatie balls.
Yeah, wrapped it in tin foils.
Yeah.
Is it safe to say we're going Wheaties though over anything over shredded?
Oh
Yeah.
absolutely.
By a barely nudge.
And Eric, let me know if people chime in. I don't have the comments up, but
Gotcha.
the 3 and 6 seed we have Rice Krispies versus Honeycomb.
Oh, honeycombs. Honeycombs.
I'm going Honeycomb too. That's a damn good cereal.
Yep.
Well,
I was
let's qualify here. Now, the Rice Krispies have to be in the form of a milted cereal.
Yes.
Is correct?
No
So not in the
confectionery
No,
treat.
Well,
they're
I don't
not
think
treat.
so though. Well, not treat, yes, but I thought you meant just like eating them dry out of your palm. I mean, that would be
Oh.
okay.
No. So say a Rice Krispie treat. That's a whole different story right there.
That is. Why don't you just throw that in a bowl and slap some milk on it?
Exactly.
There
That'd
you
be
go.
great.
You know,
Rhonda votes
the Krispies-
honeycombs.
Honeycomb.
Yeah.
The Rice Krispies the higher seed here, but I think we have our first upset. I'm
not
going
even
Honeycomb.
close.
I have
I
bugs,
would-
I have
I would
bugs on my
guess-
computer. Oh,
I would
shit.
guess as a cereal, even though again I'm not a connoisseur, honeycombs in its natural condition would be a better cereal.
Yeah,
It's-
Honeycomb was always so great because it didn't get too soggy, but also didn't like tear up the roof of your mouth. It was a nice medium. So we're going Honeycomb.
We are.
Honeycombs.
Okay. All right, the last game in this region, we have number 2 seed Kellogg's Corn Flakes versus Honey Bunches of Oats.
Oh gosh. That's like Drexel versus Valparaiso right there. I'm gonna have to go Honey Bunches of Oats because sorry, cornflakes ain't got nothing going on, man. It's
I was
rough.
going to say
It's in a bowl.
there's not a difference. You can make carp balls with cornflakes too.
No, they would throw it back.
and Wheaties and cornflakes are the exact same cereal. So what I'm wondering is why was one of them deemed the cereal that like Olympic
Well,
champions ate,
Now wait
and
a
one
minute.
of them was not?
It can't be the same cereal because one's made of wheat and one's made of corn.
I know,
Right?
but they look and taste just alike. I don't care what they say they're
One-
made of.
Wheat and one is garn.
One is wheat and one is garn.
They might as well just call them bland, boring grain flakes because that's what they both are.
Very
So,
So
simple.
Brady, I agree with you. I do not like honey bunches. Rhonda's on the same page as us too. I don't like honey bunches of oats, but I do like it over cornflakes.
Yes.
Yes, probably for this
we're going-
particular matchup, I would concur.
On to the next region.
All right, region. The next region. The one further south. All right. Number 1 seed versus the 8 seed. We have Cheerios, just plain old Cheerios. How is that a 1 seed without some sugar?
It's a classic.
Really?
You're right. Versus number 8, Waffle Crisps. I don't even know that I've had Waffle Crisps.
I haven't had those in a while. I've had them before, not commonly, but they're pretty tasty. I mean, like, I eat them as a snack.
Cheerios are better mixed in with some other sort of trail mix type.
Some
Concoction.
raisins and some dry bananas.
Yeah.
See,
But I also can't think of anything. Go ahead, Eric. Sorry.
well, it seems to me like the waffle crisps would be a better tasting cereal than the Cheerios.
I will venture to say that if, well, no, I don't want to say it because it might be on the list. So sorry, I'll save that comment. What is the next mashup?
Well,
Rhonda says Cheerios, especially when you put 3 scoops of sugar in it.
that's good point, Rhonda. I like Cheerios with lots of sugar or stevia or something, some sort of sweetener. Waffle crisp, the only thing about waffle crisp that I remember is you can't take something as glorious as a waffle, and
serialize it.
put it into a serialize it. Good word, yeah.
To a granular facsimile.
Yeah. So I'm going to vote Cheerios. We might have our first dilemma here. I voted Cheerios. Brady, you voted waffle crisps.
Yeah.
Rhonda said Cheerios with the disclaimer of having lots of sugar on it, which mine also.
But what
Eric?
doesn't taste good with 3 scoops of sugar on it?
You might be the tiebreaker here, Eric.
Well, again, I can't say other than conjecture that it seems like a waffle crisp would be better than a Cheerio. All au natural.
Actually, all that did was make the tie more solid. Actually formed a tie.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Can anyone else vote? Cheerios versus waffle crisps.
Let me put it this way. Cheerios is iconic, and I don't love the waffle crisps so much that I'm willing to go to war for it. So I would be okay casting toward Cheerios.
I mean, Cheerios is the Duke of this tournament here. I mean, you got to admit.
Waffle-O's is the Duchess.
They're kind of boring, kind of there, number 1 seed for many, many years in a row.
Yeah.
Right.
So are we going Cheerios, or are we going to go with the upset?
Cheerios.
Number 4, 5 seeds. Life
Mikey.
versus Frosted Mini Wheats.
Oh, gosh. Now, this is where passionate
It
about
depends on
both.
which side. It depends on which side of the mini wheat biscuit you're eating. The frosted side beats most cereals. The back side of it, though,
is the backside.
it's pretty drab. Yeah.
It tastes like backside. So I like both of these cereals a lot. In the real world, my preference is easy. I love Life with sugar, though. But eating au naturel, as Eric says, if I'm eating it without the sugar, it throws me to the Frosted Mini Wheat.
Wheats. Yeah.
However, now the Frosted Mini Wheat has inherent sugar on it.
I felt my hair blow up there, Eric. That was so
Now,
intense.
Eric, that should not qualify as criteria because it has that on it. That's the product. And if the other team would have thought of it first, they could have used it. So I think if
There
it's
is no Frosted
like
Mini
that-
Life.
Actually, I think there is.
Here's
There's
the
a
thing. Why
Frosted
isn't
Life.
it called Lives? Because there's more than one of them in the bowl.
Can I have get a box of
Think about it, though.
Limes at Sam's Club?
Every other cereal, Fruit Loops, Grape Nuts, Corn Flakes, Cheerios, but Life. A bowl. It just doesn't make any sense. Here's a bowl of Life.
Well, it's kind of it's very true because just like in real life, it gets soggier the longer it stays in the milk, the longer life goes on.
Frosted Mini Wheats is the Oklahoma State in this tournament. They're just that
I know exactly
meddling.
what you mean, and that scares
You know
me.
You know what I mean.
Yes, I know exactly what you mean.
I'm going Frosted Mini Wheats. That was my dad's cereal growing up that I wasn't allowed to have, so I ate a lot of it once I became an adult. I don't eat it much anymore. The thing I like about Frosted Mini Wheats. Now I know it's the Kellogg's Frosted Mini Wheats that's in this tournament, but Frosted Mini Wheats, there are lots of off brands that still have tasty Frosted Mini Wheats.
And you would know because
Like-
that's all your dad would let you eat, right? The off
No,
brand.
we always had Kellogg until I was older, and then we started getting the off-brand. But I've just over the years, because my kids like them. I mean, so
I eat them. I do.
Okay,
Are we
there's
going?
now there's a dispute in the Reeser household. Rhonda says frosted mini wheats. Her husband Steve says life. So I would say
Frosted
frosted
Life.
mini
Think?
wheats. And again, I'm just on conjecture that anything that is frosted has to be better than anything that is not.
they need to make. Here's the thing, Kellogg's. Why don't you make a double-sided frosted mini wheat? I don't understand. Why does one side have to be?
Probably half as cheap. You know what? You know what I mean? Like,
Would you pay
has
double
that been
the
done?
price for your
Thing, you're gonna
box
be-
of cereal?
I would pay twice the price for a double-sided frosted mini wheat.
but I bet to offset the cost, they would have to make the bale smaller.
True. Can't get much smaller than a mini wheat.
A
Here's the
micro
thing.
wheat.
How about let's inject it. Let's keep one side frosted, one side
Nano wheat.
non-frosted, and let's inject it with more frosting. What's wrong with that?
It's a frosting injection.
Yeah. All right. So the 5 and the 3 seed. I'm sorry, the 3 and the 6 seed. We have the 3 seed Golden Grams, a personal favorite, versus Kicks.
Kicks.
Golden Grams. It's not even close for me.
I don't
Golden
know.
Grams might be the
Close
perfect
Your Eyes
cereal.
was really good.
No.
Golden Grams to me might be the perfect cereal. Every bite, the first bite down to the last soggy, milk soiled
Boiled.
rectangle.
That beautiful
Tasted the
golden
same.
rhombus.
Yes. Perfect hue. Perfect cereal hue.
This
Brady, do you
dedicated-
feel strongly about
Yeah, I do not like Kicks. I always thought they tasted like box. It was pure cardboard. You would open that thing up, and every bite tasted like a processed cardboard box. So I am going heavily on Golden Grams.
Oh, you got me.
In that moment, I realized what I did.
Got me snorting.
Sorry.
Johnny, welcome, John. Designer. of
Hang
our
on, be
logo.
patient, Johnny. Hey,
Super golden sugar smacks. Yeah, those make me coming.
he's just throwing every adjective you can think of as cereal. Super sugar, honey, wheat, golden smacks.
Derek concurs. Derek, been a while. Welcome back.
Yes, welcome, Derek.
Concurs that Golden Grams are in fact
It is.
perfect cereal.
And here's the thing about Golden Grams, the milt afterwards was also it tasted the same. It like everything about the bowl, everything inside the bowl tasted the exact same. You lick your spoon for a half hour after that and be
Did you tilt the bowl back and
oh yeah. Yeah. Or you just hummingbird it. You just throw your beak right in there.
Vam it. Rhonda
Next
says
matchup.
Kicks because it reminds her of Grandma's house. So that'd be Grandma Jennings or Grandma Boyd. Which one had the Kicks? All right, Todd.
All right.
You may proceed.
While we're waiting, the 2 versus 7 seed to me seems a lot tweeter than what it should be. It's pretty tweet. Fruity Pebbles versus Trix.
Ooh,
That's a
boy.
tough one.
That's a multicolor throwdown. I'm gonna go. Oh, and this is a gut visceral reaction. I am going to go heavily on Trix because Fruity Pebbles, although they are tasty, they kind of look like fish food, and they kind of act the same way once a little bit of milk hits them. And Trix remains a nice crunchy sphere for the as it jumps onto my fork. And so I'm going to go Trix.
Jumps on my fork. Who says that about cereal?
No one. Is Bree still listening? Didn't she admit to eating cereal with a fork, or at least she admitted to understanding?
Yeah, she understood it. I don't know that she ever attempted it. Maybe she has since then, but
we should do that. We should have an episode where we all try to eat cereal with a fork. Eric, I know you don't eat cereal.
No.
You can eat dry cereal with a fork.
Oh no.
All right. I am going to go the other way. I'm going to go heavily on the Fruity Pebbles. Fruity Pebbles is one of my top 2 favorite cereals ever. I like Fruity Pebbles so much, I have a Fruity Pebbles candle in the same room that I'm in right now, behind the cabinet over there, that I may break out for an episode. But it smells so good, you'll be able to smell it through the screen. It smells exactly like a giant bowl.
It's Hibiscus Beach.
Hmm.
Mine is one I made myself.
Your candles.
Mine is one I made myself at the Candle Works or Candle Lab. And I named this one Less Manly because after I smelt it, it smelled a little less manly than the other candles I made. I made 2 of them the same night, and this one was the least manly of the 2 of them. So
it looks manly.
You can't see the name of it. Can you see the name of it? Less Manly?
Oh, that's what the name of it is?
You name them when you make them, and I named it Less Manly.
I see it now. Less Manly.
Where is this Candleworks place?
It's right down there by Latitudes. It's awesome date night. It's a really cool place.
Hang on, I'm gonna have to hit that up.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm going Fruity Pebbles, Brady. So we're going to need a tiebreaker here.
I will say Fruity Pebbles because that rabbit was damn annoying. That's what I would say.
It's not his fault he was being excluded from society.
Not only that, but doesn't it look a lot like rabbit poop that's just multicolored?
It could be lupine feces in that bowl, multicolored.
See, that's what I always thought. I always thought the rabbit was pooping, and that was the cereal he made. He made his own cereal.
That was its trick.
Yeah.
Tricks
right,
indeed.
We have a that'll trick you. Derek says dip Oreos in the milk after the golden graham.
Man.
I don't know if I want Oreo in the same milk as my golden graham.
Rhonda says Grandma Boyd. She ate them every weekend at Grandma Boyd's house. Rhonda also says Fruity Pebbles because it leaves a sugar film in my mouth for the rest of the day.
Rhonda has some amazing points tonight. So later on when it's snack time, you just lick the roof of your mouth. You don't have to leave your desk. You just
there you go. And,
pour milk in and you got a whole new bowl of cereal in your mouth.
Johnny with a shot.
Anybody else?
At Brady, silly rabbits, forks are for dorks.
Guilty.
Johnny, Fruity Pebbles or Trix? We need to make this unanimous.
Yeah,
one way or the other. We have 2 votes for Fruity Pebbles, 3 votes for Fruity Pebbles.
Yep.
1 for Trix. Is that good enough to give it the win?
So either way, it's going to win.
Yeah.
Fruity Pebbles.
Nick.
All right. Let's go quicker now. All right, so number 1 versus number 8. We have Cinnamon Toast Crunch versus Booberry. Booberry. I have some Booberry cologne.
Wait, I didn't think that through. I'm going to go Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Thank you very much.
I am too. Booberry was one of the worst of the monster cereals. I missed something, I think. Do you need to text it to me?
There's nothing to see here.
Nah, I was just thinking that.
So Cinnamon Toast Crunch, without a doubt. Booberry was gross.
Yeah. It's Smurf.
4 versus 5 seed. 4 versus 5 seed. This one's easy for me. We got Raisin Bran. So let's take a boring ass cereal like Wheaties or Corn Flakes, and let's just throw another boring ass food, a raisin in it.
Then it becomes something that says, what is it? There's a race to get out of your colon and everything's winning after the raisin.
And then let's brag about the fact that we're not going to just put 4 or 5 nasty ass raisins in there. We're going to put 2 scoops. 2 giant scoops of fat ass blood filled ticks in my corn cereal. Versus Count Chocula. Is that even a match?
John Kerry, hands down.
Yes.
I always thought he looked like Count Chocula.
Oh yeah. Can we agree that Count Chocula takes the win over Raisin Bran?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Next we have number 3. Now we're getting somewhere with. They figured out what to do with the boring cereal, Frosted Flakes. You just frost it. That's all it takes. Versus Apple Jacks.
Ooh.
Anything frosted is edible.
Oh yeah,
That's my rule of thumb.
Apple Jacks in a heartbeat. They're wonderful. Okay, you want to go double cool? They now have Apple Jacks with marshmallow in them. The little tiny
marshmallows.
Oh yeah,
man.
Have they marshmallowed everything nowadays?
I think
What's up with
so.
that?
Mucilix with marshmallow. Nice alliteration there.
Do you remember the
I did like
commercial?
Frosted Flakes.
You remember the commercial? A is for apple, J is for Jacks, cinnamon toasty Apple Jacks.
Yeah.
Apple Jacks, Apple Jacks. I don't know.
And the podcast is done. We can stop after that because it's not going to get any better than that.
So I like Frosted Flakes. You didn't make carp balls out of Frosted Flakes. Too sweet for you give the carp diabetes if you put the Frosted Flakes in it.
That's a carp underwater saying that, by the way.
Oh, my mud vein. I don't know why. I'm not sure why I ended it with a drr. We are dumber than a box of rocks. All right.
Yes, we are.
But Apple Jacks was another very fine tasting milk after the cereal was done. Even though you wouldn't think apples and cinnamon would go well with milk. It worked.
It did.
Nothing goes well with milk.
So, Brady, are we saying Apple Jacks?
Oh, yes. Pomme de terre Jacques en français.
All right. Last game in this region. Number 2 versus 7. This is easy for me. Number 2, we have the greatest of all Cheerios, Honey Nut Cheerios, versus Kellogg's Corn Pops or whatever they were called. Pops. Just Pops.
With the frog? Is that the thing with the frog?
Just Pops. I think they were just boring corn pops.
Didn't it have a frog mascot?
I don't think
Not
so.
corn pops did. No,
Well,
you're thinking
Eric,
of sugar of Honey Smacks.
Yeah.
Honey Smacks had Diggum the frog.
Dig'em.
Digger. Diggum.
It's
Yeah, Diggum. Because I thought they were called Diggum Smacks for years because the commercial he just said Diggum. That's all I could say.
Hey, Todd, do you like
Which
this? Yeah, I dig 'em.
Well, here's the thing. I always was disappointed that the frog could only say Diggum, but I'm not sure what I expected a frog to be able to say other than ribbit. And Diggum makes a lot more sense than ribbit when you're selling cereal. So I'm going Honey Nut Cheerios in this because I think Honey Nut Cheerios are great.
Yeah, I'm going to go with a B over the frog. Let's go Honey Nut Cheerio.
There's no frog.
Or, there's no frog
It's
here.
just corn. It's there. I don't know who the mascot is for Corn Pop. I don't know. Joe Biden. I don't know. I mean, that's
Joe Biden. So I'm gonna share this here. Now look at this. Those look like
what are those? What
kernels-
shape is that?
It looks like a kernel of corn.
It looks like
Right?
a hominy.
Aw.
Yeah.
Hominy.
So I don't like milk, but if I did, I'm looking at a bowl of corn-looking stuff with milk. There's no way I can do
Exploding
that.
from the bowl.
Good source of
Imagine, Eric. Imagine shucking your corn and then skinning her back and cutting your corn off the cob into a bowl and then putting milk in it.
Oh, it's disgusting. Oh,
So, we going Honey Nut Cheerios?
Yes.
indeed. I got comments.
All right.
All right. Yeah, Rhonda, we already got that comment up about Fruity Pebbles. Yeah, Silly Rabbit. Forks are for dorks. Sorry, put that up. Johnny said Fruity Pebbles in his vote. Rhonda said CTC. Her daughter eats a bowl almost every morning.
What's CTC? Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Crunch, yeah. Derek said Frosted Flakes over AJ's. Apple
Derek,
Jacks.
that was a tough match, Derek. I like both of them.
Yeah.
Derek also voted Honey Nut Cheerios.
Cheerios. All right, next final region. We may have to have this continue. We may only be able to finish the first round.
Might be to be continued.
Yeah. 1 seed versus 8 seed. We have Cocoa Puffs versus Honey Smacks. Knick knack paddywhack, give me all the Honey Smacks. What was that? There's some springs happening, some springage. The Honey Smacks, Eric, was the frog. That was the frog.
Gotcha.
Brady, it's Sugar Smacks until 1982 or 83, and then they became Honey Smacks.
It sounded way too unhealthy, I guess. Oh shoot! Now I was laughing. What is it? Sugar Smacks, and what was the first one?
Honey Smacks versus Cocoa Puffs.
Oh, Cocoa Puffs. I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. That was the toucan, right? Or no?
Well, it was some anomalous bird.
It was meant to be a toucan, wasn't it?
Well, toucan
that was Toucan Sam.
Toucan
Right.
Sam was Fruit
Oh,
Loops,
right.
Fruit the Wops.
No, wait a minute. Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. It was a cuckoo bird, right? That's why he said.
Oh yeah,
cuckoo.
yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Why did they call them Dodo Puffs and have a dodo bird?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I would say anything chocolatey beats anything else.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. And here's the thing: how come Smacks is the only onomatopoeia they thought of for cereals?
Smacks.
Why not like Sugar Thwops or something like that? or Honey
Or-
Zings.
Corn kabooms.
Rhonda
says-
votes Cocoa Puffs.
Cocoa Puffs.
Johnny Sugar Smacks was a bear.
No.
Bear.
No.
Sugar-
No.
sugar-
No.
sugar.
No. 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 No.
No,
Super
no,
Golden
no,
Crisp was a bear.
Wow.
Super Golden Crisp was a bear. Sugar / Honey Smacks was the frog, but they were damn near the same.
Frog.
They were damn near the same cereal.
Fuzzy Wuzzy was a
Was a
bear.
bear.
Fuzzy
Fuzzy
Wuzzy
Wuzzy.
had no hair.
Ooey Gooey was a worm. Ooey Gooey had no germs. He climbed upon the railroad tracks. The train he did not see. Ooey
What?
Gooey. You don't remember being taught that when you were a kid?
No.
Okay. Kind of like
We had.
the two aardvarks in a bathtub. What aardvark? What aardvark say to the other aardvark? No soap radio. I don't remember those.
Oh,
I
sorry.
laughed my ass off of that joke, having no clue what I was laughing at, but I knew it was supposed to be funny for years.
Yeah.
Derek says Honey Smacks for the win. Cocoa Puffs hurt the roof of the mouth, similar to those corn pops.
Yeah, there wasn't much puffy about them. They were pretty firm.
Taut.
Yeah, taut. It was a taut cocoa ball. Hey, James.
Jim, welcome.
Jim.
Honey Smacks is his vote.
Oh, I wrote it in the wrong spot.
Johnny, I pulled the muscle under my tongue once, imitating the cuckoo bird.
Hang on a minute, Johnny. You've pulled that same muscle doing so many things. I think eating potted meat. I don't know. I know he's told us that before on this podcast.
Yeah, he has.
All right, number 4, 5. No, hang on a minute. 1, 8, 4, 5. Okay, 4, 5. Reese's Puffs versus Cap'n Crunch.
See, this isn't fair because they took two of my favorites and put them head to head, but yet they got mucilix and hay bales. And, oh man, I gotta go with the Cap'n.
Cap'n.
Reese's Puffs. I haven't had them in decades, but I remember
They're
them
great.
being one of my favorite cereals ever. You slap the name Reese's on the side of it, I'm pretty much going to love it. In fact, I had my first Reese's Pumpkin the day of the season.
All right. Sugar Smacks. Johnny says was a bear.
No, was it Super Golden Crisp was the bear.
Sugar Smacks was Dig'em.
Yeah, until it was Honey Smacks. I know my cereal history on this. This and I will fight you. You guys might have won last week's battle of Eddie Rabbit versus Nat King Cole or whoever the hell it was. But this one, they were very. One of them probably was
Swede.
One of them was probably Post, and one of them was probably Kellogg's.
Right.
But Super Golden Crisp was the bear, and Dig'em was the mascot for Sugar/Honey
Dig'em.
Smacks. But they really were they were alike. They were like little peach-shaped peach-shaped brown. I don't know. Looked like something would fall off a tree. They didn't really look like
a calorie shell.
Yeah. So we don't have an agreement though in this matchup. Reese's Puffs versus Cap'n Crunch.
I got to go with the captain.
And I'm going Reese's. Did anybody vote, Eric? Eric's vote would be Reese's because he said,
yeah, anything chocolate. Yeah.
Anything chocolatey beats anything not in my world. And just for our purposes here, there's a Super Sugar Crisp Bear.
Vitamin powered.
Post. Yeah, vitamins.
It's a very confident looking bear.
That's why the kids ate it. The vitamins.
Yeah.
All right. Rhonda says Cap'n. Rhonda said Captain Crunch.
Cap'n Crunch.
Cap'n Crunch.
Captain Crunch.
So why is he just a captain? I mean, if you have your own cereal, it have to be at least an admiral, don't you?
I'm not sure the hierarchy.
Commodore Crunch.
There's some alliteration for you.
How about Colonel Crunch?
Well, it's a seafaring thing, so it has to be Commodore.
And if it was from the generic one, it'd be Corporal Crunch.
Yeah. That's the Kroger brand. Corporal Crunch.
If the Cap'n Crunch had crunch berries in it, it would to me it would make a difference. But regular Cap'n Crunch, I mean, you literally need skin grafts to fix the roof of your mouth after eating that cereal.
Rhonda does say peanut butter crunch is the bomb.
It is awesome.
And this is the tightest battle we've had. So Eric and I say peanut butter, Brady and Rhonda say Cap'n. We need a tiebreaker.
Yeah. Does anyone in the audience want to break that tie? Derek's just asking about number 2 greatest all-around cereal.
Derek had actually won its first round matchup versus Rice Krispies, so it is definitely still in the tournament. We'll have to pick it up next week with round 2. I believe the Sweet 16.
Yes. Johnny says
Cap'n. There it is.
Cap'n. Jim says Cap'n,
There
even after the skin graft.
All right.
Cap'n it is.
2 more games in this first round.
All right.
3 versus 6. Cookie Crisp versus not even a game for me. Cocoa Pebbles. I'm going Cocoa Pebbles all day long.
Cookie Crisp. Cookie Crisp.
Here's the thing. Don't try to fool my ass. Give me a cookie. Don't just give me a bag of mini cookies and tell me I'm eating something healthier or something better. Just hand me a stack of cookies, a sheath of cookies.
A sleeve of cookies.
Sleeve of cookies. A tower of cookies.
I will make a proclamation on this show right now. I stand with Cookie Jarvis and Cookie Crisp.
Cookie Jarvis. That sounds like a disease you get under your armpit or something.
Got a case of the Cookie Jarvis.
Stop and get some salve. Get some salve. Some
ointment for your Cookie Jarvis.
I don't know. It's a fun. Oh, you got a little Jarvis on your cookie there. Well, rub some ointment on it. I'm not sure what's a funnier word, ointment or salve. Salve is definitely older.
A balm.
Like, people carried salve in satchels. I mean,
Oh my goodness. Cookie Jarvis the man. And his bowl of Cookie
Do you
Crisp.
know what? I swear, with God as my witness right now, I never put it together. Cookie Jarvis, which is why his name is Cookie Jarvis.
I didn't either.
I'm serious. I don't know why at this moment I picked that up.
Now look at him. He's got the distinguished long white beard. He's got the wand with the chocolate chip cookie on the end, the magic wand. And he has the pointy hat, the magician hat with cookies
And he has
all
two
over it.
sugar beets for feet.
He's got the condom-shaped shoes.
Moccasins. I mean, how could you go against Cookie Jarvis?
Because the Flintstones, man, the Flintstones.
Cookie Jarvis.
Cocoa Pebbles is my favorite cereal ever, so I'm going to go without a day long. We're going to need some time. Well, actually, we have 2-1 right now.
Yeah.
Eric went.
Rhonda says, "Have you ever eaten a Cookie Crisp dry, the grossest cookie you ever?"
Thank you, Rhonda. Let's take a nice chocolate chip cookie and turn it into a cookie plate, a disc, if you will.
See, that's glass half empty. I'm saying take a cereal and make it great like a cookie.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about ruining a cookie. I'm talking about making cereal good.
Derek,
Grandma's Italian wedding soup. That is a strange connection there. I can see it, though, Derek.
just to read the whole comment there for the benefit of our audio audience. Derek says, Cookie Crisp, anything Pebble, fruity, coca, or any variation thereof reminds Derek of his grandma's Italian wedding soup. I hate sifting for my food, he says. Rhonda says, Coca Pebbles.
Cocoa Pebbles.
Did Bam Bam have a cereal?
He was in the Cocoa Pebbles.
He ate Cocoa Pebbles because
What?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Why are they called Pebbles?
Why aren't they called? Yeah, Cocoa Bam Bams.
Cocoa
I
Bam
don't
Bam?
know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe it was
Bam-ba-lam.
Bam Bam-a-lam.
It's one of the great podcast moments. Remember the?
Yes, it was.
We need to release that as an instant classic someday. It's even funnier when you listen to it in slow motion.
So who won that?
Doesn't make
one?
sense. Listen to it in slow motion.
Listen-
You know what I meant. So I think, sadly, Cookie Crisp won. Sadly for me. I mean, I got to be impartial.
Rhonda says because they're shaped like pebbles. I don't know that they're shaped like pebbles.
They're shaped like fish food, like aquarium food.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
Pebbles.
yeah.
So I think Rhonda is only Rhonda and I as far as our votes. So
Yeah.
we're
Right.
going Cookie Crisp. And the final game of the evening. Yeah, this just makes it easier for my homework next week. I don't have to do much work. I already have what I'm going to talk about next week. We got round 2 of the tournament. Daniel LaRusso is going to fight. We have the number 2 seed. Nobody ever calls it tournament except for Mr. Miyagi and Daniel LaRusso. I don't understand that.
Get him a body bowl.
All right. Lucky Charms, number 2 seed, versus Cocoa Krispies,
Coca.
number 7 seed. It's easy for me. I'm going Lucky Charms.
They're always had to be Lucky Charms.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Lucky
I
Charms.
want definitely the Lucky Charms.
Nothing's
Rhonda.
going to ever keep you down.
Down, you're the best around. That is true 80s schmaltz pop right there. I'm surprised that song never charted. Who sang that song?
Well, I'm sure the person who wrote it charted a few times, but we know George Brett. We opened the segment with George Brett charting. There's a fly. There's a fly. Can you see that fly? What the hell are flies doing out in October? Do we have anybody to vote against Lucky Charms?
Nope.
Lucky Charms 100% from Rhonda. Lucky Charms easily. I didn't even hear who Lucky Charms is
Cocoa Krispies. Now, Eric, your normal take is that anything chocolate wins.
Yeah.
But man, Lucky Charms is awfully good.
Yeah. The leprechaun over the elephant.
Yeah. I will have to go against my own rule here. Got the marshmallows.
Yep.
You got the fruity.
And Lucky Charms has a chocolate Lucky Charms out now.
Ooh, really? I don't think
Yeah.
I would like that. That seems like a bit much.
I don't know. It's got the mellows in it, but
Yeah.
that completes round 1 of our tournament, and I think it's going to be a tough one. But Fruit Loops, I think, is a favorite. Fruity Pebbles is a favorite. We have, I believe, Lucky Charms is going to be right there at the end, and Count Chocula.
So if this was the tournament that was being broadcast on CBS in March, Clark Kellogg's would have to be the commentator.
So Rhonda asked a question. Anyone else eat the cereals and save the marshmallows
For the milk? Hey, Rhonda, did you know that you can buy just a box with bag in the box of just the marshmallows?
Yeah, you can buy those at any Amish store.
Yeah,
They sell the
I've seen them at like
marshmallows.
candy stores and stuff as well. I think that would be cool. And then you could buy a box of regular Lucky Charms, sift you out some grain, some whatever they're made out of, rice or whatever, and then you could change the entire ratio. Basically, you're changing the ratio.
So this is, in my estimation, this is the only situation where Brady's use of the fork to eat the cereal would be valuable. If you wanted to sift out the cereals and keep the marshmallows.
Yeah. Or Brady, even with Brady's apparatus, you could stab the marshmallows.
True. Very
Stab the marshmallows, and then you would have no Krispies on your fork.
And then Lucky Charms, they're like shapen. There's usually like gaps in them, and you could take a good fork tine and puncture that Lucky Charm right through the. And it could
Heart.
yes,
Yeah. There is a heart.
harpoon
Isn't there?
them.
So Rhonda says those marshmallows are not the same.
I've personally never bought them. Yeah, so I don't know, but I was tempted.
All
right. I'm done.
Very good. All right. Looking at our website once again. This time we will go to the isms on our website. And we've made mention of some isms today, I believe. So again, if you go to our website, playbyyourpodcast.com, you can go to the spot on the menu that says Play by Ear Isms, and you have a Urban Dictionary style listing of our things that we use in our as far as words in our show that are a little off the beaten path, let's just say. One I heard there, what was I thinking of? One of them we said during our conversation about cereals that I was going to go ahead and say, but I can't remember what it was. Anyway, I will pick one out and I will. So this is called the apostrophe / plural reference. And this is a euphemism for one's private parts. And the sentence is, man, in the unedited version of Cocoon, I did not need to see Wilford's Brimleys, but I was okay with Jessica's Tandies.
I know that one movie we all got to see Kevin's Bacon.
Yes.
Yes, we did. What was that?
Wild Things.
Wild Things. That's right. Okay. We are to our game of the night, one we haven't played in a while. Gentlemen, we are a little late on our clock here. So we're only going to play to 3. So the first one to 3 will win. And the game is Dirty Minds. Dirty Minds. Okay. So the game is called Dirty Minds. Audience, if you have not heard it before, Reason why it's called that is you will hear some definitions I will read, or some different things regarding this word, the keyword, and it will sound rather dirty, but it is an innocuous sort of word that is to be guessed here. So our co-host will try to make their guesses, and again, the first 1 to 3 here will win, as again we are short on time. So we drew lots backstage. Brady, you won the drawing of the lots. So you will Holy Diva. Okay, so there are 5 different sentences here that go along with this word. So we'll just go in back and forth fashion. And the first one to guess correctly will get the point. So Brady, you'll get the first one. Okay, Brady.
Hey, what?
Sometimes you have to poke me to get me flowing. Sometimes you have to poke me to get me flowing.
A soap dispenser.
All right, Todd. Second sentence here. I can smother your hot meat.
Ketchup.
Ketchup is correct. Ketchup. All right, so the other sentences, if you're not careful, I can leave a red stain. Pound my bottom enough and I'll spurt all over. And some people
Thank
don't.
you, good night.
Some people don't like me on their wiener.
So our rating is TV 27, right? That's
Indeed.
all right.
Again, all you people have dirty minds.
Exactly. We're
just
talking about
regular-
condiments.
Regular old words.
Basic
here.
condiments.
Exactly. So Todd
Run of the
won
mill cookout
condiments.
condiments.
All right, Todd leads 1-0. Todd, even if I'm small, I can handle a threesome. Brady just shakes his head.
I feel tawdry.
Tawdry. I love that word. It's not used in our lexicon near enough. Tawdry.
I don't know.
Don't know. Brady, some people aren't capable of getting me erect. How tawdry do you feel now?
I have no idea.
Okay.
This is a tough one.
Todd, it's okay to fall asleep while you're inside me.
Carry the one.
Now, keep in mind, audience, if you're late to the game, these are just regular old words. Game's called Dirty Minds.
Okay,
So if
fall
you're
asleep
thinking something
inside me.
else, you have a dirty mind.
It's your problem. Yeah, if you're thinking something else, you need to seek counseling because we are completely on the straight and narrow. Nary.
Driven snow we are.
I don't know. Crap.
Brady, after you get me up, you should tie me down.
I know what it is. Crap.
A hammock?
Can I guess?
Do you want the last clue?
No.
You don't get any less points if you don't
Okay.
get the
Go
last
ahead and
clue.
give me the clue.
When it starts to get wet, you should come inside me.
A tent.
Tent is correct. Can hardly even say it. Jim got it right. All right, Todd 2, Brady nil.
No set.
All right. Back to Todd. I might give you one hump or two.
A camel.
A camel. Yes.
I'm going to win.
I'm a Norwegian. I'm going to win. 3-0.
Gain.
Okay. I'll read the others. 3 wise men came on me. You can ride me bareback. I usually kneel down before you mount me. And you're usually hot when I'm between your legs. Well, that went rather quick. Should we continue or should we just?
We have. Let's do 5 more minutes.
All right, 5 more minutes.
We have because that took like 3 minutes. So I wouldn't feel right if you only got to spend 3 minutes on your topic, Eric.
So I don't know, Brady. Does that mean your mind is too dirty or not dirty enough?
I'm struggling.
All right, Brady. I hang between your legs. Now, again, it's dirty minds. These are just innocuous words.
Yeah, there hasn't been anything dirty so far about any of these answers.
No. Only in people's minds.
A zipper.
Good guess, but no. Todd, sometimes you have to pinch me to make it fit.
Pinch. A loaf. No. A belt.
Incorrect. Okay, Brady.
Mm-hmm.
Reading this line makes me think I'm reading lines from 48 Hours and Reggie Hammond. After a little trim, I'm usually poked by a professional.
What was that last part?
After a little trim, I'm usually poked by a professional.
I got nothing.
Nothing. Todd? Putting your legs in the air exposes more of me.
The bottoms of your feet.
Incorrect. Last clue, Brady.
Okay.
I always start at your crotch or your creech.
Inseam?
Inseam, Brady on the
You're
board.
kidding.
Good job.
Yes, inseam.
I pulled that out of my ANUs.
Which is right around your inseam. 3-1.
Well done.
All right. Todd. I'm 8 inches long and made out of latex.
A glove.
I'll allow it. A rubber glove.
Yeah. Well, it's made out of latex. That's redundant.
True. I'll allow it.
I will allow it.
4-1. Brady,
Yeah.
if I have to pull out, it's an emergency.
A highway patrolman.
Incorrect. Todd, I can sport a huge extension.
Fire truck.
Fire engine.
Ah, there you go.
That's correct. All right. I think probably 5-1 would signal the end of this game.
I think I just have a cleaner mind than Brady. His mind's just too dirty.
I think that's what it is. So Todd. What does that even mean? Where'd that ever come from? I've only seen that in cartoons.
Salt over your shoulders.
Nobody's ever done that in the history of winning.
In cartoons they have. And again, for the benefit of our audio audience, is that clutch both of your hands and kind of shake them over your shoulders thing. I don't know what you call that, but
Like you're making shake a pudding over your shoulders.
my mom made shake and bake and I helped.
I helped.
All right. So that brings us to the end of episode 74 of the Play It By Ear podcast. Hope you enjoyed our show here. And Jim with another good guest there with the fire truck.
Tune back in next week for round 2 of our tournament.
Yes. So you get to hear who wins the cereal.
Squid Game.
Yep. The 2021 Ultimate Breakfast Cereal Championship.
Yes. And also, Brady will have a topic of some sort, and I will probably have a game of some sort. So that's kind of the way we roll here. But it will all be played by ear. So please join us. As always, our audio version of this podcast will be released at 3 a.m. on Friday morning. And I hope you enjoyed our Instant Classic this past week in honor of Brown County Fair Week. We reran our Brown County Fair episode. And if you remember a couple weeks back, I gave the link to the Brown County Fair episode to my minister. Said, if you want to get some background on the fair and the whole historical context, you need to listen to this. And he said he listened to about half of it. Say he didn't know it was going to be 2 hours, but but he found the information valuable. So we are not only idiots here, we do pass.
You're civic minded.
Civic minded. That's right. That's very good. Very good.
Get you to your tendergroins.
Right. Okay, so audio, you can find it on most audio platforms where you can find audio podcasts.
Quick little history though, a little trivia about, not trivia, I guess, interesting fact about that episode is I think that was the first episode where Eric had to use the power of the pen and do a little editing, and we obviously won't fill you in on what he had to edit, but there was
I still stand behind. It shouldn't have been edited.
That's why it's so funny because Eric edited without running it by Brady, and it was a Brady segment that was edited, and it's funny. You might talk to us in private sometime and ask us, but
honestly, that was episode 7 of our podcast. Now that we're at 70 something, I might have let it fly at 70 something.
Can I tell the story real quick?
I was still concerned about how people might perceive us in episode 7.
I don't care if you tell the story, Brady.
You could trust my filter, okay? I'm being totally serious. So at the fair, when I was a youth, there's always those urban legends. And people say, oh, yeah, I heard that there was one time the guy that operated the Ferris wheel, you cut some girl's finger off. I was in line when that happened when I was 5 or 6 years old. And the gentleman slammed the Ferris wheel lap restraint shut on a little girl's finger. It cut it off, and he picked it up and handed it to the mom. Now, I didn't see that detail, but I was in the backed up line when the ambulance pulled up and they shut down the ride.
That's not why he...
Yeah, I can't remember why I edited that little portion of the podcast, but
because I think I wasn't very kind to the ride operator.
Yes, that's what it was.
Yeah, I can't remember specifics, but
yeah.
It ended up on the cutting room floor. Whatever it is you said.
It did.
But I still think that was the first like cut you ever had to make, other than just like cleaning up some noise or whatever.
Right. Yeah. So
The deleted scenes.
and I never would have thought my first cut would have had to be whatever Brady said. I thought for certain it'd be you, Tom.
I was going to say, I'm guessing you would have thought it would have been me.
All right. Video wise, this will be archived on YouTube and Twitch. And you can also watch it on Twitter. Speaking of archived on YouTube, we need to go back to the website because we need to do the Anus watch.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Cattle.
Feline Anus.
Cattle.
Cat anus.
Yeah, let's get to the right screen here.
I think we're down to 1 week.
It's close. It's getting close.
We could just put it in every poster so it never goes away.
We could.
There it is.
There it is. It's the last. It's winking at you.
Right there.
It was the last cat's bottle.
So once episode 74 gets archived into YouTube, episode 60 will be off. It'll still be there. You just have to click over to next.
Just out of spite, we'll make it an instant classic, so it's there for 12 more weeks.
Indeed. All right. So again, you can find us there on video. Go to our social media sites: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and interact with us via email. No one ever sends us emails. Admin at playitbyearpodcast.com. Voice messages.
Yeah.
Yes, voice messages. You can click on your audio podcast provider. There's a link there. Leave a voice message, and you can do that, and we can put you right into the audio version of our show. So please do. And actually, it allows people to comment after the fact because we do our live recording, and then people can get onto the first release audio version, making comments on what we've already talked about there. So
yes.
That's an interesting wrinkle no one's used, I don't think, since Kirk Dietrich was the last one to do that way back when. So explore that one also. Anything else for the good of the order, gentlemen?
I don't believe so. Thanks for sticking with us for a 2-hour and 2-minute episode. A little longer than our usual, but hey, we don't mind. We don't mind if you break it up into a couple of different segments.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah. All right, Todd, take us out.
Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Play It By Ear podcast. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter at Play It By Ear Pod 2, and our website at anchor.fm/Play It By Ear podcast. Thanks again, and join us next time as we play it by ear.